Hi, and welcome back. In this video, we will talk about the combination of one person being a Scrum Master and a product owner. Let's start out with the challenges resulting from this dual role. You probably remember that a Scrum Master also protects the team. And a Scrum Master does not only protect the team from stakeholders, but in many cases, especially when the team has not reached a certain level of maturity yet, from the product owner itself. So when a product owner, for example in sprint planning, demands more and more and more from the developers, and they are not self-confident enough to say stop and actually pull items in instead of them being pushed in, a Scrum Master would intervene. So one of the biggest challenges for one person being both Scrum Master and product owner, especially when they themselves and the developers are not mature enough, is that the protection of the developers and all those dynamics that we need to have in Scrum with different responsibilities never happen. The easiest way is to, of course, get rid of this dual role. Make sure that this person is either a Scrum Master or a product owner. I was in that situation myself, and to be honest, back then, getting rid of the dual role was not an option. No one else in my team was familiar enough with Scrum to be the Scrum Master. No one else in my team was familiar enough with the product and the domain and the customers in order to take the role of the product owner. If you are in a similar situation, maybe the following tips might come in handy. First one, always make sure you highlight out of which role you're acting. And my team back then gave me actually two hats. A blue one for whenever I was acting as a product owner, and a red one for whenever I was acting as a Scrum Master. The only thing I had to remember was to put on the right hat whenever I wanted to act out of the product owner role or Scrum Master role. Another piece of advice is block out specific time in your calendar to do the actual Scrum Master job. For example, preparing retrospectives takes a lot of time, especially at the beginning. And if you are both a Scrum Master and a product owner, most likely your primary focus is going to be on the product owner roles and responsibilities. So you will spend the vast amount of your time talking to customers, talking to the developers, creating the product backlog, and prioritizing the product backlog. But if you don't assign time, don't allocate time for preparing a good retrospective, guess what? Your retrospective is not going to be good, which means continuous improvement in your team is not going to happen. And the last piece of advice is to prepare to get rid of this dual role in the mid to long term. For example, if you are right now the only person familiar enough with Scrum to be a Scrum Master, try to find someone else who can take over the Scrum Master role. It doesn't have to be someone from the outside. Maybe one of your developers is interested in learning more about Scrum, learning more about facilitation, learning more about coaching, and interested in taking over the Scrum Master role. Support them in doing that. Most likely, you won't get rid of the product owner role, as building up the domain and customer experience and knowledge takes way more time. I hope this video showed you what challenges result out of the dual role of being a Scrum Master and a product owner, and also provided you with some easy tips to implement in order to deal with those challenges. See you in our next video.